I think it's all been worth it. I'm 100%. I definitely feel that way.
What are we calling this? The Throwback series? Is that what we're gonna call it?
Something like that. The original name was like Nostalgia Bros.
I don't think that fits anymore.
Well, yeah,
not with this one.
Yeah, no one has any. No one in this room has any nostalgia for this movie.
Yeah. No, I just remembered it.
Yeah. So we'll go with your name. Throwback. I like that. What I don't like is this movie.
This brings me so much joy.
I'm glad, Oz. I'm glad that this brings you joy. I hope it brings you many, many good memories. I want you to know, Oz, that you see, like, this is like throwing the first punch in the fight, because it's like it's a surprise, which is to your advantage, and it's a good hit because it hurt. But the problem with that is you got to deal with the consequences of punching 3 people in the face.
So here's my caveat to this. You broke my spirit with Howard the Duck.
Why'd you punch the third person?
And again, Dylan, I am sorry about the collateral damage. I really am. I really did not invite you to this, and that is not on me. That is on them.
He knew. He knew when he picked this that you were going to be present.
That's
so
true.
Don't let him.
I was there for the picking.
Yeah,
of this.
don't.
I'm very much aware, but I wasn't the one who forced you to come. I was not the one who forced you to sit in that couch right there and watch this movie with us.
You are.
They did that.
You are.
They did that.
Wait a minute.
By choosing this
was
movie,
100% you.
All I'm saying is I do not regret my actions. The only thing I do regret is that you got hurt. That's all.
I don't think I believe that.
I wouldn't believe that if I was you either, Dylan. It's like he knew that you were in the crowd of people and he threw the grenade anyway.
It's almost like whenever he
if it takes out the big bad.
If he held the little 20-foot radius circle over a D&D mat, and the DM was like, "Hey, your buddy's in that circle," and I was like, "No, that's fine."
That's exactly.
And then
what
they
he
cast Storm Sphere.
That's an oddly specific spell choice.
A little bit.
Okay.
I happened to be on a broom or some shit at the time. I don't know.
Yeah. I've hit almost everyone in that campaign with an AoE spell at some point.
You have.
I literally don't give a fuck. The only person I've ever elected to not hit with one was Ace.
You hit me with it.
No, but I ended the spell so it wouldn't kill
that's
you.
True. That's true.
Yeah, but
you almost died.
Before that, though, you hit him with the fire.
No, that wasn't Caleb. That was
that fire started with Hellfire.
It did.
Yeah.
Oh, we talking in the house.
I didn't hit you directly with the fire.
In my fucking mansion.
Yeah, well.
I didn't hit you directly with that fire, but I started a fire.
Yeah. No, it's my mansion.
Oh, okay.
It was. The
It's
original
now also
house.
my demiplane.
The original house was his, and now it's the new one is all ours.
Duchess.
So while I love to talk about our D&D campaign,
God, it would be so much better.
Yeah. In comparison to talking about this movie, the movie that we're discussing tonight is called Cool World. Only, I guess, one of those words applies.
It's a world.
Yeah.
There's multiple. This shit. Okay. Normally we disagree with Rotten Tomatoes about a lot of things. This shit has a 4.
Jesus.
On Rotten Tomatoes.
That's impressive.
Out of 100.
God damn.
It has a 27 on Metacritic. You know I gotta go look at some of these.
Oh, yeah.
Generally unfavorable. It has no positive reviews on Metacritic. All the reviews are either mixed or negative. There's 0 positive reviews.
That fits. So while he's looking that up,
no, I'm not looking it up. I have it. The Los Angeles Times. This is the most positive review with a 50 out of 10 out of 100. The erotic potential of animation has never been realized, and Cool World doesn't even try. That's the most positive one. TV Guide said, Cool World's numerous plot holes and illogicalities might be forgiven if it had interesting characters or impressive visual effects.
Oh my god.
Oh, where's the lie?
Variety has the lowest review on the site. They said style has seldom pummeled substance as severely as in Cool World. A combination funhouse ride acid trip that will prove an ordeal for most visitors in the form of trial by animation.
God damn.
All of these things are correct.
And you knew that. And okay, so I want to back up a little bit here, just to fill the homies in on what this series is. Okay, so the concept for this idea of movie reviews came about around the time that we reviewed Super Mario Brothers, the old school 90s movie. And I was like, you know what? We've done this. At that point, we had done like Mortal Kombat, the OGs, and maybe one or two other movies from like the 90s or earlier. And I was like, you know what? These aren't necessarily in the vein of superhero movies, except for Howard the Duck and Captain America. And
no, I don't think you have to put those exceptions.
And I was like, you know what? It would be a fun idea to go back and revisit movies that maybe we've forgotten about. Movies that are from the past, movies that are like 25, 30 years or older. I think they'd be a lot of fun. That don't have to be about superheroes, just about anything. Just, you know, a throwback series of movies that we can go back, watch, and review. And the idea for this would be that unlike some of the other movies, these do not have to be bad. These can just be a celebration of movies from the past that maybe people have forgotten about. Fun movies, good times to be had all the way around. And I thought that, you know what, a good candidate to start would be the homie Oz. You know, I thought that he would, because he's definitely a kid of the 90s, and he loves movies. And so, you know what, let's let Oz get up to bat and have a swing at it. I was confident that he would choose the original Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles movie. Great movie, fits the criteria, let's go. He did not choose that. Instead, while I extended my hand for a peace treaty, Oz woke up and chose violence.
Premeditated.
Oh, yes.
And
it was very premeditated.
And for the record, you know, we originally said 20 years, but then we started talking about it and we were like, the fucking Matrix is 20 years old. Mm-hmm. Almost all of the Lord of the Rings movies at this point are 20 years old. So we decided to say 30 years if it's a major franchise, otherwise 20 years. This movie was 1992, so it would have been fine either way. Mm-hmm. But yeah, this was the first pick.
Yeah.
This the first official pick in this series.
Yes, it was.
And, you know, I was so excited for my picks because I was like, man, I'm going to show these guys the original RoboCop or like The Thing or Alien or like some of my favorite movies, you know, that I would always watch. Movies that are still great, movies that still hold up. Fuck that, Oz. You ruined this. This is your fault.
Watch the world burn.
Okay. And I just want to point out that, you know, I am looped in with this intentional violence. And really the only thing I've done was the holiday special.
See, you don't want to take credit for Dune.
I don't take credit for Dune. Because
we wouldn't have done Dune, the old version, if we didn't watch and review the new ones.
Right. Well, I had been trying to get us to do the 2021 Dune for a while. And then I said, well, we got to do it before the new one comes out. And then Ace said, well, you know, we should do the old one as well. And so that is on him.
Oh, wait a minute.
So in your category of hell is the 1990 Captain America,
Stop.
Howard the Duck, and Dune 84.
Hold on. Hold on.
So we are even. I only did one of those.
As a fourth party, I've heard this thing go both ways of this. Each of you says the other one did it. So I'm going to say both of you were at fault. I didn't even watch the movie.
I agree. That's why I chose this.
I am relatively sure that it was on the cast. So I'm going to go back and dig through the archives, and I'm going to find that shit.
You know, but the way the AI works now, you can doctor anything to make it sound the way you want. So before we get too far, I suppose proper introductions are in order, no matter how ready I am to get this shit show over with. Homies, I apologize in advance. But with that being said, I welcome all of you to another very unique episode of the Superhero Homies podcast. My name is Quentin, and tonight I am here with like 1.5 friends.
I'm the one.
We are both 3/4 of a friend.
No, I'm the one.
No. I'm fairly certain that Dylan is the one. You're the half, and apparently I've been completely disowned.
No, that's Cody Rhodes. He's the one.
Oh.
I am here with my good friend, the homie Dylan. Dylan,
Hello.
welcome back.
Thank you.
I am here with the homie Caleb. And I'm also here with Oz.
Who's been recently stripped of his homie title, apparently.
Worth every second.
I want to point something else out also. Before we get into Cool World, which is the topic of discussion, quotation marks, I want to point out something here. Your saltiness about Howard the Duck is unfair. I had not seen Howard the Duck. You had not seen Howard the Duck. We both suffered through that together.
Mm-hmm.
Should have been a trauma bond.
It should have been. Instead, he is only...
See, I would have forgave Howard the Duck. But then Captain America...
Yeah. Oh, okay.
I'm sorry,
okay.
bud.
He did that shit to me, too.
Wait.
See, I would have forgave it. But then you gave me that one. And then it became personal.
Okay.
Because you tried to hurt me with that one.
I did not.
You did.
Then he got you with Dune 84.
Well,
No,
hold
you
up.
got me with Dune 84. I don't give a shit what. First you, sir, got me with the holiday special that I still was very I didn't want to acknowledge its existence. We didn't have to watch it ever, and I would have been okay with life. But no, you two had to go and ruin me for movies forever with these fucking trash movies. So this is my revenge against both of you. I am so sorry that you feel that this is personalized and attacked against you, but it is. It is.
So, I want to point out that whenever you pulled me in for the anime movies, one of those made me actually quite upset. I think you said the lowest.
The lowest score ever given on this podcast, yeah.
And I was rather mad.
Was that Ruby Part 2?
I believe it was Ruby Part 2.
Yep.
I'm sorry, what's the full title of the film?
Look it up.
Oh, I just know you like saying
Justice League X Ruby Heroes and Huntsmen
Part 2.
Yeah, I just wanted to get that on there. We're trying to fill time here.
I do not hold that against you.
Thank you. I hadn't seen that either.
Yeah,
Dylan.
yeah. We granted, actually, it's much like the Howard the Duck. I feel like because we knew it was probably going to be bad.
Yeah.
But we were going into it, and I do feel like we bonded through that.
We did. We both. I look into your eyes sometimes, like you did me at MomoCon. And,
We don't talk about that.
Okay.
That stays at MomoCon.
And I see the trauma in you that movie also gave me.
And we knew.
We knew. We knew. So I'm glad that at least the two of us can trauma bond.
Yeah.
Oz, on the other hand, he wants to put all the blame on me. And in my defense of Captain America, I was probably 4 or 5 when I last seen that movie. Maybe 6 or 7.
Did you write it then?
Okay, one would think.
Because that would explain a lot, actually.
I was 5 when this movie that we're about to review came out.
I think
And that is the only time I saw it.
But you still knew how bad this was.
I really didn't remember it.
What I'm saying is that this was targeted and purposeful.
Oh, yeah. I think I admitted that at the beginning of the show.
In my defense, a lot of you said that you didn't think the Star Wars Holiday Special was real. So
And you could have,
it was more of a historical thing.
Oh,
No. You could have let me go on with my life with never having to actually watch that movie. But no, you couldn't help yourself. You couldn't. You had to one up Ace. You just had to.
Like what?
I did, but I didn't write the sequels.
Like I said I remembered watching the movie. I didn't remember most of it, but I knew it was a thing. So like it didn't need to be proved to me. I have not hit any of you with a bad movie before.
No.
I don't know what I did.
I'm sorry, Dylan, and I'm also sorry that this isn't the first time you've said that on one of these reviews.
It's like the fourth.
So with that being said, fuck it. This is full spoilers, okay? So if you guys
for Cool World,
yeah.
I don't know if
It
I can
won't
spoil
help
it.
any. I promise you that.
I don't think I can spoil it. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
and it's almost like Oz has like been Pavloved a bit because like whenever he brings up the movie, he's like, "Well, Brad Pitt's in it."
Right.
Every time, like a little bell, just ding.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I would just like to point out this will be full spoilers. So in case some of you guys have just been really hankering to see Cool World and don't want any spoilers, then I guess this is your warning.
I mean, some of you sick fucks listened to our review of the Star Wars Holiday Special, and then you went and watched it.
Yeah.
Because I know because about a week after we did the review, I went and looked at the number on YouTube, and the views had gone up. And I know nobody just randomly was watching that shit.
How much did it go up by, roughly?
Like about 100 or so.
God.
Yeah, that shit is why.
Why?
Yeah, we literally spent 2 hours telling you
yeah.
that you can't even hate watch this thing. And I'm gonna tell you that this is in the same vein.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you know how like for those sick fucks of you that watched it, you know how like some of the parts of the holiday special go on for like way too long? This movie is like just one of those for 2 hours.
So let's kind of go around the table here a little bit. First, I want to get everyone's vague overall feelings on the movie, and then I want to hear everyone's synopsis as far as like what this movie is. Dylan.
I'll go first, just because the main thing that has stuck with me from this movie, and this is a funny one coming from me, but why was this cartoon so horny?
What you call it a cartoon, Dylan? It's only partly animated.
It's mostly animated,
Very true.
but it is very horny.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the word animated can be challenged.
That's why I say cartoon specifically.
Yeah.
It was drawn.
Yeah,
Like whole parts of the set.
And then cardboard cutouted.
yeah, and placed on loops.
And I didn't say this when it was happening, but there are many a time that the random shit that just floats in front of the scene just cuts mid-scene. So it just disappears. They don't go off screen. They just...
Yeah, it's like the
Without
little
the noise.
animation they drew for it was only a certain amount of time.
And then they just cut it.
Yeah.
And they would run it more than once, so it wasn't like an oopsie. Also, I know this is asking a lot from this movie, but the continuity was bad.
Continuity. Oh, this movie can't even keep up with what happened 10 minutes prior.
Exactly. That's what I mean. Like,
This shit makes the X-Men Fox universe look like a Nolan film when it comes to continuity.
Oh, I think the best way to describe this movie is take Who Framed Roger Rabbit, dip it in LSD, do like Missy Elliott said, put it down, flip it, and reverse it, and you got Cool World.
that actually kind of fits.
Yeah, it really does.
Oz.
Go ahead, bud.
So, absolutely hate this fucking movie. And I don't know. I definitely agree with all of you. Like, this movie was not even, I can't even say delightfully bad. Like, yes, it brought me joy to torture you two specifically. Not you so much, but you two, like Ace, Caleb, you two specifically. However, it was definitely difficult to watch. Like, my brain still can't get over some of the times when they walked by drawn set pieces, like, that was supposed to be 3D but 2D, but it drove me nuts. I think at one point,
Sesame Street did it better.
right? Sesame Street did it better, 100%. And I agree with your assessment. The Roger Rabbit, yeah.
Yeah, so the way that this movie starts, because I feel like together the four of us can can piecemeal this thing to a degree.
I don't want to.
Did you know they're coming out with 3 new X-Men animated shows? Did you?
I didn't before you told me that earlier.
Why are you derailing this? We want to get through this.
You said one of them was NYX?
Yeah.
God damn it.
That's the comic book where X-23 made her first appearance. So I have to wonder if they're just going to...
Get Daphne King to voice the character?
that would be very smart. I didn't think about that.
You know what's wild?
What's that?
And vastly off topic. But speaking of X-23, that came up in the podcast that I'm listening to. That is a Vampire the Masquerade playthrough.
X-23 came up in that?
Yeah, it was in reference to one of the characters. Yeah,
Oh.
that's wild. It came on today.
Is she a small, possibly Hispanic orphan girl with a adamantium skeleton?
No, it was some weird Inquisition bitch who I'm pretty sure died shortly after showing up because she was a human in a vampire world.
That doesn't sound like X-23 at all.
I want to
She
say
had the
The claws?
yeah.
Oh.
That's why.
I'm so glad that the people who created X-23 had the foresight to not give her an adamantium skeleton because she's still a little girl. Wolverine is a grown ass man, so his bones.
That's fair. That would suck.
Yeah, I don't, and so I've actually thought about that. I don't know what happened. Would she just?
She just wouldn't grow.
I guess.
You'd be constantly in pain, I would imagine.
Yeah,
Yeah, because your bones would be trying to grow out of it. They'd be unable to.
Double so because you're able to just regenerate.
right.
Yeah,
Ooh.
yeah. So they would break
The more you think.
inside of there,
It
and
just gets
then
And
worse.
then heal and break and heal and break and heal and break. Yeah.
that'd be awful.
Yeah, that would
it
be
would suck.
the worst.
Straight up awful sauce.
Much like this movie.
Much like this movie, a hell of a segue, Dylan.
I gotta be honest. I don't know which is worse.
The Bones thing. Yeah, the Bones thing.
If you had to watch this movie on repeat, or the Bones thing, or you could forget that this movie ever existed and put up with the Bones thing for 2 hours.
It's the Bones thing for 2 hours, or I have to watch this movie for eternity.
Or just
watch the
at
movie,
all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm still not taking the Bone thing.
I don't know, man. Morphine
can-
exists.
I can deal with the existence of this. This isn't the worst thing
I'm
I've
just gonna kick back some fentanyl and deal with the Bones thing for a while.
So this movie, dare I say, needlessly starts off in 1945.
Yeah, actually.
No, there was no reason for that to happen.
Except to maybe get him the hair and outfit he does.
That is literally it. Yeah.
Hair gel and suits existed in the 90s.
Look,
Yeah, they still
I'm just giving you
exist.
the only reason.
Yeah,
There's, I mean,
People also
he's
drank
probably-
and drove too. Then, afterwards,
That's true.
He's probably in his early 20s. They could have easily started this in 73. There's no reason for the setting. It starts off with a really fucking, honestly, dark and sad turn of events. And then quickly, goes from that to just the most zany, off-the-wall nonsense. And not in a cute way, not in a funny way, just in a super annoying way.
Yeah.
So just to add a little bit of clarity, because I know all you guys have definitely seen this movie, but just in case the few of you haven't, I know none of you have seen this goddamn movie.
I hope.
And you should keep it that way.
you really
keep it
should.
that
You
way.
really should.
I hope no one has seen this movie.
It's 1945, and Brad Pitt is just coming home from war. We see him getting off the plane, and he meets his mom, and they have this warm embrace, and everything's
Which
great.
I still feel like the hug was way too awkward.
It was things were awkward there.
Yeah,
I mean, he hasn't seen her in who knows how long.
That's true.
but at the same time, there was. I don't know.
It didn't.
I've given enough hugs to even strangers that are not as that awkward.
Yeah, and then also, she's really irresponsible. She just left dinner cooking.
She did, yeah.
Right.
That is fast forward a smidgen. They get home. He shows her a motorcycle, and
That
as
apparently he won in a card game.
Okay, but that's
Over
not
in
that
Italy.
odd.
Well, that's true.
But them getting the motorcycle home without her knowing is a little weird, but that's neither here nor there, I guess.
Yeah,
Whatever.
Probably
Right.
just threw it in the mail.
And
I don't know
Why
if you
not?
still could, but you used to be able to just put kids in mail. So
you probably still can. That's Epstein.
Oh, and
Oh, you
also
can't.
just to make sure we get the setting correct, we're in Las Vegas.
We are in Vegas. We're like,
oh,
the
that's right.
rural
I did forget
area.
about that. Yeah.
Pretty much everything's legal there, so.
That's true.
Yeah.
But yeah, while dinner's cooking, he shows his mom the motorcycle that he won when he was in Italy, I believe he said.
Yeah.
and they go for a ride on a motorcycle. And at the same time, at the gambling building, because the building says gambling.
Gambling.
There's a couple leaving the building, getting into a car, and they look a little drunk, and I think they got a bottle in their hand.
Literally.
Yeah.
Also, this is where the movie starts to get horny because she's basically in his lap.
That's true. Almost immediately. The last time you and I spoke, it was in the car ride to Caleb's birthday dinner.
Was he in your lap?
Fuck. You sound all you sound very jealous, Oz.
No, he wasn't.
Anywho, we spoke about Roadhead.
We did actually. Yeah.
Yeah, you couldn't have been in his lap then.
That's a fair point. That's a fair point.
I said we spoke about it.
Are you deflecting right now?
Actually, I think what you said was that you spoke about it.
No, we conversed about Roadhead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Was it awkward?
No. No, it was one of the many topics we had, by the way.
There were a lot.
Yeah,
I'm going to tell you, I don't think I've ever discussed Roadhead in a car where there were only two people in the car. If that wasn't my goal.
You know why it wasn't awkward?
Hey, that's a fair point.
That is not a fair point.
Like, we're not going to talk about it on the way home.
Yeah, nah, dog.
It's not that long of a drive.
It was an hour.
I'm saying to get home.
Bro. You and I have gone on many road trips over the years, and not once did we fucking talk about Roadhead.
Well, that's
right. We didn't talk about that shit in my car, which you rode with me on the way home. You rode with him there.
Both of you sound extremely jealous once again.
So what if we are?
I'm not jealous. I'm just explaining to you that in my experience with Roadhead, I've only ever discussed it with a single other individual in my vehicle if my plan was for it to occur.
Dylan, you know what this means, right? We cannot tell them about any of the other shit we talked about.
See, I really wanted to tell them about one of the parts again, but they'll go on like a 30-minute rant.
I mean, yeah. Because, if Roadhead is setting you guys off,
oh, no.
then some of the other shit we spoke about.
Nah. It's going to go right down in there with what happens at Momo.
Right.
I'm not judging at all. I'm just saying that for safety reasons, you should probably make sure that the person giving the Roadhead is not driving. That's my only limiter, okay?
Here's my thing.
You do you.
Here's my thing. Why are you acting like it could even happen with me involved?
It could. It's not impossible. People went to see this movie and liked it. So that's way fucking less possible.
We don't know that for sure.
Yeah, we don't
Actually,
know that.
I take that back.
According
to Metacritic, no one did. But some people watched it and thought it was
So I was the head.
Yeah, that's what we really want to know here.
So part of the discussion was that, I never actually had Roadhead, nor was I implying that Dylan should remedy that.
Definitely never brought up with just two people in the car. I never had Roadhead if I didn't intend for it.
It was because we were talking, okay, you know what, fuck. We were talking about people who drive erratically, all right? People who drive,
true, yeah.
And then
some dude right in front of us was swerving all over the fucking
and I was
place.
like, the only time something like that happened to me, the dude was getting Roadhead, all right?
That's right, that is how that started.
Yeah.
Because you were talking about when you were doing one of your routes.
Yeah, and I was like, the dude cut me off sharply. What the fuck is he doing? Then I look over, and the dude is getting Roadhead. And then I was like, I kind of forgive him.
I was like, that is not the time for any kind of sexual activity. Pull over or something.
So, I used to habitually drive shitty vehicles, right?
Okay.
And this couldn't happen in my existing car, but at the time I actually was getting some Roadhead, and the chick had her weight on the gear shift, and she fucking pushed the car into neutral while I was going down the fucking interstate.
Damn.
It's almost like it was a bad idea.
Right, yeah, and so I'm like, get the fuck off my... Yeah, and I think that's actually the last time I engaged in that particular activity.
You know what's funny about that? In my mind, you said, get off my stick, and she didn't know which one you meant.
Yeah, right, yeah. Both of them right now.
Right motherfucking now.
Yeah, Dylan, we'll have to have an after hours podcast to talk about all the other shit we spoke about on that car ride.
Yeah, I think that's the second safest thing we could say from there.
Yeah.
Well, I have a feeling that after this discussion, were you driving?
Yeah.
Well, I have a feeling you didn't say much right after this discussion.
Oh.
All right, quit putting yourself in my situations. First of all right, that's not what I would do. It's what maybe you yourself. Okay,
Once again, no judgment.
no judgment here.
Yeah, no, dude.
It's one of those things that was
He's a
just
little
like
defensive, isn't he?
He is a little defensive.
defensive. No, and mine and Dylan's relationship. If we went that way, you think that things would go down like that?
Well, here's the thing.
Wow.
Had you been driving, I believe that Dylan wasn't trying to coerce you into the roadhead. But if it had been the other way around and you had been driving, I would have no such delusions.
So now you think that I can't do that while driving?
That's not what I said. I said you would do it.
And also, what's wrong with being the bottom, bro?
You tell me, Oz.
See, you guys all think that this is us off topic, but this is right in the wheelhouse for this fucking horny ass movie.
It really
A
is.
little bit.
And this discussion is more interesting than this film, but
Also
By
true.
far.
Yeah, that's true.
this movie's also probably going to win a Homie Award.
I think we're gonna create one just for this movie.
Like we did for Captain America last year.
Captain America. Yeah.
Is it going to be horniest movie?
No,
or-
it's going to be we didn't want to talk about it award.
Oh, that
Yeah.
It's going to be the
that's an
same
existing
award.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, the couple leave the gambling shop
Yeah.
because the building says gambling on it,
Fucking
And there was no
blasphemy.
roadhead that we knew of.
that we knew of.
They
Yeah.
probably happened, though.
No, because like immediately when they pulled out,
Yeah, you're right. Because
Yeah.
they hit the main road and fucking hit the other two because they're stupid.
yep. If you guys remember correctly, we said that Brad Pitt and his mom were on the motorcycle having a joyride, and then there's a head-on collision.
Which flung that motorcycle ridiculously far from based off the speed that one car was going.
Oh yeah.
I'm gonna be honest. I did laugh at that scene,
It
not
was funny.
because I thought that like, oh, a mom and her son getting hit is hilarious, but the way that they did it.
Yeah, it was ridiculous.
The legs, like you just see. A
It was
pair of
definitely
legs.
it was definitely very much the ragdoll physics. I think it literally threw a test dummy through the
It
air.
looked like it was not a person.
Not no more. It wasn't. Bet Mama Brad Pitt is dead, and then Brad Pitt, he's relatively fine, concussed maybe.
He's got like a rip in his jacket that disappears later on in
Yep.
the movie at least 3 times. He's like got some weird pepperoni head injury. His hands are real scraped up.
It's contagious.
In case you didn't catch on to it, the visual effects in this movie, both the practical ones and the drawn ones, are bottom of the barrel gas station bargain bin level.
This movie had a budget of $28 million.
That must have been Brad Pitt and Kim Basinger.
Kim Basinger. I mean, but you know, poor Kim, she was on her way down in her career, and Brad Pitt hadn't even begun his.
Right, and like I agree with Caleb said this during the viewing, was like, I gotta give it to Brad Pitt. This movie did not end his career.
I mean, to be fair,
No.
Jack Black was in Neverending Story 3.
That's true.
And that is a way worse movie than this.
I continue to forget exists.
Good. I wish I could do that. That's your second superpower. Because I
Bad memory?
cannot erase that movie.
Putting things in vault.
But oh yeah, that's true. But you know, his career survived that shit. So you know,
But was he the main character in that?
he's the villain.
Oh yeah, that's up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, he was cast across a recast Bastion.
That movie is as old as I am.
Well,
Holy shit, he looks weird.
Yeah.
what's Brad Pitt's character name? Is it Frank? No.
Detective Frank Harris.
Okay, Frank
Harris.
Whoa.
That's not him, but the face.
Yeah, that's. What's the name of that terrible superhero movie from was it Star Kid?
Fuck.
Oh, Star
Oh
Kid.
man.
Yeah, that was so fucking creepy.
Oh yeah,
Like especially when the damn thing tried to talk to him inside of it. That's fucking weird.
yeah,
So
yeah.
97.
That picture
Oh,
Billy showed
shit.
me. That's what that
I
reminded
forgot
me
that
of.
movie existed.
Star Kid.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember it came out in 97 because 97 is a cursed year for cinema.
You know,
Nothing
really
good
is.
came out in 97.
Even as a kid,
may
when
have-
I was watching this, I was like, "What the fuck?"
That may have been the originator for the whole good video games, bad movies
Oh yeah.
dichotomy thing, where it's like video
Star Kid was
games.
a video game?
No.
No, but I'm saying like 97 was a great year for video games, but it was a terrible year for movies, and like that's kind of how it's been lately, you know.
It kind of has. Ever since then.
What time is the opposite of that? What time is a good movie's bad video game?
2019.
What good
That
games
must have
did we
been.
get in?
That must have been whenever I started doing Mad Games Tycoon 2.
That is a deep cut.
That's
God
cute.
damn.
And the video games that Dylan makes in Mad Games Tycoon 2 are probably
Used to actually, I got better at it.
that's true. They used to put a poop emoji on his review.
Oh.
As I made it.
And it was I would still rather play any of those games he made than watch this movie.
So we haven't even gotten to the good part yet.
What's,
No, I think this was the good
what, like, honestly, this actually had some depth to it. Like, the rest of the movie had nothing.
I don't know if I say it had depth to it. That's
I mean,
a little,
it was like...
Are you talking about the titties that happened in this movie?
I mean, listen, if I had to dig to the bottom of the barrel and find something good about the movie, there's some animated titties that you see in the same cycle.
And they're tittying.
They are tittying.
They are titty.
Yeah.
I just want to say that, like, karma really hit. Because, like, okay, so Brad Pitt was in this movie, right? Mm-hmm. And the next thing he starred in was an episode of Tales from the Crypt.
Jesus.
Oh damn!
Damn.
I didn't know he was in that.
Yep, he's in one episode in 92.
God damn.
I think I remember that episode, actually.
Same year?
He was in just pretty much all dog shit up until Interview with the Vampire. So
Yeah. Yeah,
like
that's
that
kind of his
movie,
big break. Speaking of breaks, he didn't break anything in the motorcycle crash.
No, he didn't.
I mean, it looked like he might have broken like a rib or some shit, but nothing.
Or
that
maybe
stopped
even a
him from
finger.
crawling around. No, his finger looked alright. You got a good scene of both of them.
So what was the doctor's name?
Oh, the
Whisker?
Whisker.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
Whiskers.
it. Whiskers.
Dr. Whiskers, yeah.
Yeah.
I thought
So
it was his whisker.
so he's got this weird spike that they never explain.
Never.
Correct.
And it has some sort of interdimensional powers. And he's trying to yeet himself into the human world. But instead, he yeets Brad Pitt's character, Detective Harris, from the human world into Cool World.
So,
As he's having a PTSD fit.
so I think it's not so much whenever he tries to yeet himself in, he activates the spike, and it rips the fabric between the two universes.
Right.
And then because of that destabilization, I think is what actually causes him to come through. Not
I feel
so
like you were
much-
giving this movie way too much credit.
Look, I'd rather think about it than watch it. But yeah, he just the it opening is what causes him to fucking get yeeted through, because that happens to be the scene he's seeing. Which, by the way,
Yeah.
he immediately picks out that was his mom, and he saw that scene for like half a second.
Well, he's a doctor. He's clearly very
Not that
intelligent.
kind of doctor.
Or maybe he was watching the whole time, and then that's when he hit the button.
You know, it's odd. We see this character, Dr. Whiskers, in like the first 5 minutes and don't see him again until like the last 5 minutes.
That's true. It's a little weird.
Yeah, because there's just like a 20-year time skip, like right after
It's
this
like
shit.
45
45.
years?
45
47.
years? That's right. Yeah.
47, exactly.
Yeah. It's a pretty long time. Then, for some reason, they decided to fast forward to 1992.
Some motherfucker just in jail.
Yeah,
I'm
we go
assuming
to
in
our,
a similar area.
It's got to be, right? I mean, we know they're in Vegas.
Well, yeah, that's like honestly, I think that's like the area that maybe that's where the rift came through, so it's
Now-
the weakest.
You know, I mean, and they do say that I guess there's been others that have come through.
Yeah.
But
throughout
through
time.
dreams, I think they mentioned that.
No, she just says he's dreaming.
Yeah, like I said during the viewing of this movie, they were definitely writing this as they were filming it. Like that's the only thing that makes sense.
And the other guy, Jack Deebs.
Jack, that's right.
He's played by Gabriel Byrne.
Jack these nuts in your mouth.
Got him.
And he,
I think that's what Holly wants.
yeah, he does. Or she does, rather. This motherfucker was the villain in End of Days. The Arnold Schwarzenegger
Yeah, he
movie
was. He played the devil in that.
about the end times.
Yeah, that was a pretty bad movie too.
Yeah.
It was pretty bad.
Yep. We should go ahead and put it on the list.
So I just want to put this out there that I am not going to be putting up just awful movies for mine.
Honestly, this is my only one. I just wanted to get them.
But my first one, I have an absolute fucking great classic that none of you have seen. So,
What is it?
We know what it is.
Mean Girls.
Oh,
Yeah. And I'm not going to change it, despite the harm that was done to me here today.
Yeah,
is that because you don't want to also hurt me? Is that the excuse you're going to use?
Sure.
the only other person I'm concerned about is Brendan because he's going to try to pick something good, but
He thinks this movie is good.
So,
He was excited about this movie.
we were watching WrestleMania Sunday, and I told him what movie I chose for the first pick, and he goes, "Oh, y'all gonna watch Cool World without me? I love that movie." Immediately, Caleb and Ace's face turned to me and like, "I hate you."
Yeah, that's
like,
how
immediately.
I knew it was gonna be awful. I'll tell you what, like, just to make sure, I will volunteer when Brendan picks his first movie to give him my spot, and
I think it's only fair that I actually do that since I didn't fucking do anything to anyone.
I think it's fair that I sit this one out because I've been on all of them.
it's
Your show.
It's your show. This was your fucking idea.
It's your fucking idea.
This is our.
I actually was not there.
But
for
he
the
stripped me
original.
of my title, so it's y'all's.
Yeah,
Hold on. I wasn't there for the original coming up with this at all. I was added in almost last minute. As a oh shit, we didn't even tell you, Dylan? Yeah, this.
It was more like, I can't believe we forgot to tell you, Dylan.
That's just different words.
I just want to iterate that I've brought a lot of masterpieces to the show. Both the new Dune movies.
I wasn't there for that. Well,
You were.
yeah. Actually, you know what? I'll give you the second one because you didn't bring me on for the first one.
Yeah.
So most of my picks are just ask the fucking dice. They're not up to me. You have to ask fucking Warner Brothers and Disney about most of my picks.
Oh well, if I get to talk to them, then we got other shit to discuss.
Yeah. So Frank gets yeeted into
Cool
World, and like how exactly it happens is still unclear.
Nope.
It just happened.
It just happens, and it doesn't happen again until 1992 when we fast forward, and there's what was his name?
Jack.
Deebs.
Yeah.
And he's in prison, and we get the idea that like Holly, this thing that he drew, is somehow pulling him in there.
Right.
And the whole like detail that like he's in prison and like writes these comic books and that he like murdered somebody or whatever, like
murdered his wife's
lover or whatever. The whole thing is like entirely irrelevant as fuck.
Yeah. There's no point for us to know he was in prison.
Yeah.
But I'm also more interested in that than this movie.
Oh yeah,
That's of course.
never comes up again, right?
Ever.
Like, yeah, and it doesn't really need to.
And he like gets out of prison and it's like he just like goes about his life like nothing happened. Yeah.
Like they literally could have picked up this part of the movie with him sitting at home at his work desk drawing.
Yeah.
But instead,
I think their reasoning for it, and this is me stretching it, is because him being in prison put him near that spot, and he was an artist, which let him like start to cross over, air quotes, because you see him do it like twice in the fucking jail cell.
I feel like that's making.
Like I said, it's stretching.
Like no. Like honestly, I see where your brain's going. Like honestly, that's not a stretch for me to believe, but I don't think the directors had that in mind at all.
No, it was a happy coincidence.
Yeah.
Maybe this is the backsheet cut.
who was the director for this? Oh, Ralph. The same guy who drew it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, maybe this was the his cut,
Yeah, Ralph Bakshi. This is
Maybe that's like maybe this was his autobiography. Maybe this is his fever dream. He just thought was good enough to be a movie.
He
This
needs
is
to stop
fetish.
doing drugs. He needs to stop doing drugs.
He should.
I'm actually surprised they didn't get sued for some of the depictions in this movie because fucking Daffy Duck is 100% in this bitch.
Oh yeah, he clearly is in this movie.
And I don't know about now, but he certainly was not part of the public domain in '92.
No, and I will say also some of the caricatures of the wolves at the beginning were very much like the wolf, like the mask wolf, and you know.
And they show up in a few other Disney like cartoon things.
There's one. It's not like a moving animation that we see, but there's like a still shot of a mouse that looks a lot like Mickey.
That bunny that loses the bet is straight up Thumper from fucking.
Oh yeah, from Baby, 100%.
But I think the reason why they didn't have any problem with that is because no one watched this movie to notice.
Yeah, including the Disney lawyers.
Right.
Yeah. Also, you know, the mouse was like he was hibernating back then. He was building up his strength.
Fair enough.
So, back to the movie part of this movie. Unfortunately, it's around now that you start to you get told by the movie that noids, as humans are called.
I'm assuming humanoids, but noid. That's so stupid.
Yeah, it's dumb. Are not allowed to fuck the doodles, as they call themselves.
Yeah, and it's a weird dichotomy because there's only two humanoid lady doodles, Holly and Lorette.
Lynette.
Okay, yeah. Holly and Lynette. And Holly especially is horny as shit.
Like, ridiculously.
The movie even calls her out as being in heat.
Oh, yeah, it does.
Yeah, it does.
The whole thing is just on another level of ridiculousness and not in a good way.
Yeah.
No, not even close.
And honestly, like, the only good thing that has come from this is it kind of makes me want to bust into the hentai room at Dragon Con at like 4 a.m. and be like, don't fuck the doodles, and then run out.
Wait, I missed part you say it makes you want to bust a hentai?
I've done that
because
before.
busting makes you feel good.
It makes you feel
God
good.
damn it.
You need that on a button. Feel good.
Oh, you know, that's not a bad button.
That's not a bad.
Maybe it would help me get over my trauma.
So, and then the next thing in this movie, because I'm trying to get through this shit, is about 30 minutes of fucking filler bullshit.
Could you even call it filler?
Well, we see Frank again, and he's a detective in Cool World.
Yeah, 47 years later, hadn't aged a goddamn day.
He can't get in the front door, so he decides to go up 7,000 stories.
And this, all right, so it sounds like we're jumping around a lot. They're really not jumping around too much. They're jumping around like 2 scenes.
The pacing is horrible.
Oh, yeah. So bad.
He fucking gets in there, tells Holly, hey, you know you're not supposed to fuck noids. Stop trying to fuck noids. He gets told to leave. He leaves.
Out the window, not out the door.
Well,
the window.
No, he looks out the window, but we don't know if he actually leaves out that way. He probably does. This movie's fucking stupid.
It probably does. My question right quick is, how did they know the outcome already?
I don't know if
Right.
Well, I mean, first off, somebody had to have.
Like, somebody had to have done it already.
So if someone has done it, because like that, okay, so the only consequences is that you become human. So like if a Noid fucks a doodle, the doodle becomes human?
Well, no. It's that you're mixing the two universes together.
So that leads
to the fabric possibly deleting.
Yeah.
So how has that happened before and the universe is still there?
I think it's safer if the doodle stays on doodle side, because it eventually wears off.
Yeah, but it also turns the human into a doodle also.
So it's kind of like anything that happens in like the universe that you're in and you cross over, it like slowly fades. Like the whole thing where like when he came back, like his injuries like started to come back. It's like that. Like him
They didn't start
fucking
to come back. They were back immediately.
Yeah, well,
Yeah,
like the
they were.
suit and everything though. Like this is
that
what they
was
were
just
trying to say. I'm not saying they did a good job with it.
No.
But the way I understood it is like if he fucks the doodle becomes human, and then it like both of you kind of like go to like the middle and then slowly fade back. But then she came into our world as a human, and so that was like where they did like just the right steps to like fuck up everything.
Yeah, and also they found the spike,
Because
which apparently was stored in the human world
on top of the hotel that the dude works at, or owns, or whatever.
It was mentioned once how she somehow figured out her theory of where it was from a drawing of that building.
Right.
And she's like, it's here. And Frank was like, I'm not listening to your blah, 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 blah.
I would like to point out that the four of us are struggling real hard to put this together.
Well, because there ain't a lot to put together. Like, this puzzle's missing pieces.
Most of its pieces.
I about to say most of his pieces, man. I think we're just trying to make a at least a picture somewhere.
I'm looking at the picture on the box, and then how many pieces we got, and I'm like,
this shit ain't working, dog.
Yeah.
I got the corner piece and the two connecting pieces, and that's it.
I got pieces from a different puzzle.
Yeah.
Wait a minute, y'all got pieces?
I got that random shit they put in the Trogdor game to like that
fuck with you.
It doesn't have anything to do with the game. Yeah.
Oh no, fucking hell! But yeah, Holly, she horny,
Very.
and but
Honestly, Lynette's pretty horny too, but only for.
I was saying, but it's,
Yeah,
it's
it's
an
different.
understandable amount of horny.
True,
Yeah, I've been
true.
that level of horny. Like,
I mean,
often.
that's a fair
I've
point.
never been.
how many times have you gone 47 years without sex?
Right, that's never. I never gone 47 years without anything.
Give me another 15 years.
I'm just saying that, like, she was just ridiculously, like, unbelievably, like, hornier than any porn star you've ever seen.
Oh yeah. And like the way that Holly in particular is drawn is to be so. I mean, it makes sense that this Boxky guy, whatever, Bakshi, that this guy really cut his teeth on adult animation.
Oh, yeah.
So, and this movie makes it kind of obvious.
She wanted to gangbang that entire, like, orchestra and club she was in.
Oh
She
yeah,
tried.
The only reason she didn't is because she started turning back into a cartoon.
Because it started working.
Yeah.
So eventually, there you go.
I wonder, though, if, like, they'd have passed her
much
around, right? Just theoretically. If they'd have all fucked her, like, would that have, like, cemented her human status?
It might have.
Huh.
It might have at least held on to it a little longer.
Yeah. Extend her warranty?
all I needed was a black couch.
God damn.
They probably had one.
Yeah. But eventually she does fuck Jack.
Yeah, she does fuck Jack.
We're going back in time again.
In the shortest sex scene ever, because she just kind of, like, lowers onto that shit. She busts immediately, and then, like, that's it.
Explodes out a window.
Yeah. Yeah.
There was 2 explosions.
Right. And you know, we already talked about how like Jack never talks about. No one talks about anything in this fucking movie.
Right.
No.
And she's like the horniest person in the universe, but as soon as she's human, are they fucking? No. Like, she's like trying to bring him into the human world so she can fuck like everyone else.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And then another weird thing about that time, whenever she brings him into the bedroom, it cuts to like 12 random scenes of people who somehow magically know that he's in the bedroom because they say it.
I know, right? Like it was like they all had a fucking sixth sense for that shit.
Except for everybody near Frank.
That's true.
None of them knew that shit.
None of the quote unquote important characters knew that it was going on. Everyone else did.
There really wasn't any important characters.
That's what you say, quote.
That's true. Yeah. So, you know, so we already talked about how like there's no mention of Jack's past. How like they casually mentioned
casually mentioned
that
he murdered
the man that was sleeping with his wife.
Actually, they don't confirm it. He's just convicted of it. And he doesn't say yes or no.
Yeah. Yeah, but in
We
terms
do
of
find
this
out
guy,
he's a comic book drawer. Like,
we find out that
he was famous enough to get immediately get swarmed for fucking signatures.
I mean, and again, like this is all so fucking weird because he goes to the comic book shop in the real world, and once he gets out of prison, and is he getting copies of his own fucking book?
I don't think it's his own book. He's just getting a shit ton of comics.
Okay, but
It could be his own. I don't fucking know.
But his comic books are plastered all over the back wall.
and I guess this is more of like, you know, I guess the director giving the audience like a lot of credit and was like, oh, because he went to jail, his stuff is worth more.
I don't know if that's how that works.
That's a stretch. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm just saying. That's my only thought process.
They also start up the plot thread that like he believes he created Cool World,
And they never really
that they just dropped that shit too.
Right. And then even with Brad Pitt's character, fuckface Frank, I was close. Like
Fuckface Frank.
Yeah.
He is kind of a fuckface.
it's kind of
With his Boston accent for no reason.
Right.
That goes away.
Yeah.
They have the slam dunk kind of kind of thing they could have done with him, where it's like the reason he doesn't go back to the real world is because he would then have to confront maybe his real feelings about his mom passing and have to deal with that kind of trauma. And it's like, you know what, I don't want to deal with that here. No one dies. Everything is fine here.
Yeah.
Never once even try. And
they not really try, but they like rub up against the idea of it whenever he does go back to the human world.
The only thing he kind of says about it though is that like, I don't want to go back to the human world because
there's a million different things trying to kill you.
Yeah, you can die over there.
The only reason I say it kind of rubs up against it is whenever he starts to go back, he starts like having weird flashbacks to when she died.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And he yells no.
And the surefire thing to do with Jack would have been to play out this whole thing where he thinks he created them. Eventually he like runs into some characters that he knows he didn't create.
Right.
And then he starts to realize that
Holly's
this is like
them.
everybody's creations. Yeah, and that she's playing them. And then he ends up like turning on her and like getting everything back to normal or whatever. But that shit doesn't ever happen.
That's far too much of a plot.
Yeah.
No, I mean, honestly, I probably wouldn't have hated the movie.
No, yeah, it wouldn't have been bad, but it wouldn't have been fucking terrible.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, because there really are no I think Holly might be the closest thing to a character in this movie.
Right? Like, her and Frank, kinda Frank. Like,
Frank? I don't even know.
Kinda.
A caricature, maybe.
Yeah.
This is kind of like the second Lost World, where like the CG Blue Raptor is the most human character in the movie.
Oh, yeah. Oh. See, I buried that movie so far.
I still haven't seen
I'm
it.
so glad it can't meet the criteria for a long fucking time.
Yeah.
Because I can't sit through that movie again. I watched this movie again before I watched that movie again.
Yeah.
Even Oz made a face at that.
Yeah.
Have you seen it, Oz?
No. He doesn't like the original Jurassic World.
Oh, okay. If you don't like Jurassic World, then
Yeah, no, dog.
It's the worst movie with
like,
dinosaurs in it. And I'm including all that shit on Netflix, like Crocosaurus versus Velocipaster and all
No,
that
dog.
shit.
Like, there's Jurassic Park, Lost World, and I'll even give you Jurassic Park 3.
Okay.
But that's it. Those are the only dinosaur movies I watch.
bro, that second one, that second Jurassic World is so bad.
Like the third one's not a great movie, but like compared to the second one, it's a fucking masterpiece.
Yeah, and I think the third one's bad.
Yeah, like I don't think the third one's a good movie by any means, but like if you hold a gun to my head, or even if you don't, and just ask me which one of those two movies I'm going to watch, it's going to be the third one every fucking time.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't seen 2 or 3.
Yeah, well, I mean, keep it that way. I think.
Yeah, you just keep it that way. Like,
There's a lot of
I've
other
seen
things I need to
Jurassic
watch
World,
and finish before then.
Yeah.
3 at least has the nostalgia of like all the original characters coming back,
Yeah.
even though 2 of them are sent off on the most ridiculous plotline ever. It kind of belongs in this movie, to be honest.
A little bit.
But other than that, though, like it's not terrible.
Well, you know what's better than dinosaurs? Lotus. And that's what Jurassic World 3 gives us. It's a bunch of lotus.
He's trying to say locusts.
I was about to say the flower.
Oh,
Yeah,
locust.
Locust.
Yeah.
yeah. They
I was thinking of the flower too. I was like,
There's probably a few of those.
they do some shit that they would really do, like actually in the real world.
Big ass grasshoppers.
Is they make these
locusts.
super locusts that eat like everything, and the reason they do that is because at the same time they also are making the only pesticide that can prevent them from eating your shit. So they're trying to take over like the food supply. Yeah, this is the plot of Jurassic World 3.
you know what's awesome about that? Getting through this thing so we can leave.
Oh, goddamn.
Yeah, so Holly and Jack, they fuck. At least,
No, wait, it was Jack, not Frank. Sorry.
yeah, at least one of them bust. And afterwards, she becomes Combassenger.
They also never explain why she used the pen to absorb the deputy.
Well, it sort of explains it because Frank kind of sort of tries to by like absorbing ink from the alcohol bottle and then squirting it into the deputy's mouth, which doesn't really explain anything.
Yeah.
No, it doesn't.
And I'm like,
anything.
that explains what exactly?
Right.
The ink can go into it and out of it. That's it.
But I'm saying, like, why she, like, when they get ready to go back to the real world, she's like, hold on, I'll be right back. I got to go say goodbye to the boys. She steals the pen, goes downstairs, and absorbs the deputy with it.
So he
For no
can't tattle.
real reason.
For no fucking
So he
reason.
can't tattle.
I mean, what?
But, like, everyone knew.
Not Frank.
God damn it.
He found out real fucking quick, regardless.
Yeah.
But she technically got her plan for that exact little thing technically worked. 'Cause that little dude was going to go tell him
I think
immediately.
it fucked her more than anything. Except for Jack.
No, God damn it. I think it fucked him more than Jack too.
he kind of just laid there.
But I think he did
But-
just lay there.
Yeah, he was a pillow princess.
I mean, he just got out of prison, so probably not his first
he was
time.
a pillow princess there too.
But my thing is that, I mean, yes, technically that is what caused him to figure it out. But if she didn't do that, he would just find out sooner.
Yeah, I guess so.
I'm not trying to defend this, but that is the reason.
Yeah, it just seemed...
It's dumb.
It's dumb.
Yeah.
It's just dumb. Just plain dumb.
It's just dumb.
Yeah, what's crazy is that it takes Jack a real long fucking time to realize that Holly's playing him. Like a real long
No,
time.
literally at the
Real
very
long.
end.
Yeah.
Because even after he turns into weird cartoon fucking super person bullshit, he even still is just going to give her back the fucking spike.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, fast forward, they get back to the real world. She realizes that some shit's fucking up, so she's like, oh, I got to go hold the spike and that'll fix me.
Yeah, they're turning from human to cartoons. Her
In
and
the real
Jack.
world,
Yeah.
which is weird.
And she starts to scale the fucking hotel casino
Right.
thing.
Because they won't let her in.
Frank follows her up, trusts her for like 5 seconds when he really shouldn't, and she pushes him off a fucking balcony to his death.
Yeah, he did.
He did.
She goes up the rest of the way, goes to grab the fucking spike. Jack realizes he can kind of sort of control his new cartoon self fucking powers to fucking gum fucking launch his hands.
His fucking, you
Mr.
know,
Fantastic as
Mr. Fantastic meets Mickey Mouse hands, just all the way up.
Just
All the way
fucking
up.
fast
All the way
travels-
up.
Fast travels to the top of the fucking place. When he gets up there, she pulls the fucking spike. They both turn back. She turns back into cartoon her. He turns into weird cartoon fucking superhero person, which also
I believe we call it Shazam.
Yeah,
Shazam.
a little bit
Shazam
like
Tick.
Shazam.
Yeah, Shazam
It's
Tick.
like
Yes, I'm cool
Shazam
with
and
it.
the Tick fused with the Batara earrings.
Also, as he was figuring out his fucking powers, Doc fucking Whisker was like, "You're the hero you were destined to be." Like that came out of nowhere.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like, what the fuck, bro?
No one is even reacting to the fact that Frank is literally dead 10 feet from them.
Yeah, his like brain is splattered all over the pavement.
I'm
And
like,
it's not
okay,
like they can't see it. They can see it.
Yeah, like normal people can see all this shit,
And nothing else is fucking happening.
and it's Vegas.
Yeah.
This looks like it's not at the strip, but it's not far from it.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. And there's nobody around. And the people that are around are like, "Pfft,
Fuck
happens
that.
every day.
I mean, the neighbor of Jack's who we're bringing up now, but she's kind of horny for both of them.
She's a completely irrelevant character also.
Except for
yeah.
the one time she has the car.
That's right.
But
She's got a car.
she does scream.
Madam Web powers.
She does scream whenever Jack is falling. Or not Jack. Fucking Frank is falling. Fuckface is falling.
Yep.
She's like, my threesome five!
No, she wanted to do it with the other two. But whenever the spike is pulled out,
Let's
it
be
turns
honest,
out
all three.
all four. Yeah, all three. Yeah. She just wanted some. She was almost as horny as fucking Holly is.
A little bit.
Whose name is Hollywood.
Hollywood.
WOULD.
Yep.
Because she would.
Like, wish of Hollywood.
Yeah.
When the spike was pulled, the cartoon world started to flow into the real world.
Very much like Ghostbusters when, you know, the gate
Except
got
worse.
open.
It's a way worse.
But not entertaining or artistic.
And people started to turn into weird fucking cartoon versions.
Some people reacted, some people didn't.
Except for the neighbor whose name I can't remember, but she turned into just like a slightly cartooned version of her. Everybody else was fucking weird.
And yeah, that was funny. She turned into a slightly cartoon version of herself, and she just stood there like the whole time. You know?
She just, same spot, just, oh.
Yeah.
Then fucking Holly gets power tripped and goes and rides some weird hell beast around through the sky. Drops the spike because I guess she just forgot that shit existed. Hero Jack grabs it with his fucking feet, says, "Oh, the pain?"
Yeah, the pain is unbearable, I believe is what he said.
Climbs back up, tries to put it back. The cartoon tentacles that are coming out the fucking hole is like, nah, don't do that. And he starts to go a little...
That are made of other doodles.
Yeah, don't forget that he's turning the doodles into the Tim Curry toxic sludge.
I was about to get to that part.
Oh, yeah.
He tries to put it down, they stop him. So he goes on a weird power trip himself and looks a little too happy just smashing things with his hands.
Yeah. Just
and his face.
them.
And his face, yeah. It's one of the times after it's smashed, he just smacks his face against it. And then Holly comes back and is like, "Give that to me." And he's like,
Okay.
"All right."
Okay.
And I think that we were all of one mind thinking, oh, he's about to get this bitch back.
Yeah.
Nope.
No,
he
no,
was
no,
gonna
he
get
really was going to give that bitch that fucking spike.
Also, that the way we said that is pretty much how it went down.
Yeah.
She's just like, "You should give that to me." All right.
All right.
Yeah.
There you go.
And because of this movie,
You can give him a smash, right, if I give you this.
This is all working out for me so far. So
because of this movie, it really has solidified why people hate men in my eyes and think they're just stupid.
It also solidifies why people hate women. It solidifies why people hate everybody.
You know what? That's fair.
true.
This solidifies hate.
yeah, like Hollywood ain't the shiestiest hoe they ever shiced.
And like, I guess, like, I don't know, like, Holly kind of had a catchphrase throughout. She loved to call people pencil dick.
Yeah.
You know what? I didn't hate that part though. That was almost funny.
That about funny.
Yeah, it was
About
about
funny.
About 2% funny compared to the rest of the movie, which was like -10.
Yeah,
There was
doing
one
great.
line though. There was one line that did get us. It was
What
one.
was it?
It was I think when Holly and Jack came back as humans, and they met the neighbor and her mom.
Oh, that's right. And she said, Holly said, I'm just out of nowhere. She goes, "I'm real," and the neighbor goes, "You sure are."
I think that's
The way you
that was-
nod to like a high person, you're
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, but you get some water and just ride that out."
You are in fact real. As she was just like, they imply that she's like sucking his dick while he's trying to have this conversation.
She's at least trying.
And the neighbors who like just don't knock and just walk right into
right
his
the
house.
fuck in.
Oh, yeah. I forgot about
And they
that.
look way too into this.
Yeah.
like they've done this before.
Which, by the way, the neighbors are a mother and daughter.
Yeah.
So, Jack does in fact not give this bitch the spike.
Only because
Oh, yeah.
the fucking background / floor came up and was like,
Like,
I didn't go again.
"You laugh, but that's how it fucking was."
well, the subtitle said, translation, "You dumb motherfucker. Don't do that."
And he was like, on second thought,
Yeah.
I won't give it to you.
And
And then he goes
skips
swan,
away.
and then he skips away, and then Swan dives into a hole with it.
Yeah. Fucking God damn it.
And then that,
It starts to pull all the cartoon in, and people go back to normal. And I guess they just shrug it off because it's Vegas.
Yep.
Holly and Super Jack are stuck in the
A single panel.
Of
a comic
yeah,
book.
a comic book.
Which is their comic book, I guess. But around now is also when they finally react to Frank, fuckface, being dead.
Yeah.
Because his deputy came out the fucking pen that dropped.
That's
By the way, I
right.
forgot to say that shit.
And then he pulls him into Cool World.
No, but before he does that, okay,
What are we forgetting?
the deputy is down there tending to Jack's poor dead lifeless body,
Oh no, you're gonna say what I said?
and the neighbor chick comes up, and the deputy looks up and goes, "He didn't make it."
As like his rain is just splatted out across this parking lot after he fell off of this giant fucking building.
He felt like 8 stories.
Yeah, easily.
He didn't make it.
But I feel like it was supposed to be a touching scene.
It ended up being the funniest shit in the whole movie.
And then he pulls him in the cool world, and then we get another scene where Lynette shows up.
So yeah, he pulls him in. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, but like I just wanted to make sure they knew the context of why he pulled him in.
There's not any, but go ahead.
He was like, I've got to
You can
tell
add
her.
some.
It's like, I've got to tell her. Because that's what he says. And he pulls him in. But then he props him up against a fucking building like he's just sitting there.
Like he's okay.
Like we can Bernie's this motherfucker. Like,
And she walks up and he doesn't give her any warning.
No.
Nothing. She just gets full hit
Here
with
he
it.
is.
Yeah.
and Frank.
I brought him back. A little worse for wear.
And then they fucking
Yeah, Lynette gives us like
random tidbit of knowledge.
exposition. Yep. And then she's like, "Well, this is so sad. This is so awful." But he's gonna come back as a cartoon, and then he does.
Because apparently, if anyone is killed by a cartoon, they come back as a cartoon. Which that also is a bit interesting that wasn't really brought up until just now. Hold up, that
As long
means
as they can
humans
get
have been brought
into-
in there and murked.
But he wasn't.
Oh,
killed.
yeah.
He wasn't killed by a cartoon. He was killed by gravity.
But she pushed him as
I'm
a
aware.
cartoon.
Even then, man, like,
yeah, no.
But I think you also have to be in Cool World. Like,
that's what
he wouldn't have turned if he had just stayed
Yeah,
there.
if he would have been dead, but they pulled him over, and then they fucked.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what the
Well,
movie closes.
we forgot to mention that Brad Pitt's character turns into Archie.
Yeah. I gotta say, him fucking Lynette is the only plot thread in this whole movie that actually comes to any kind of fruition.
Yes.
Right?
It sure does come to one.
And that's because this Bakshi guy, he's gonna make sure he closes that plot line.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fucking hell.
I gotta have these cartoons fuck.
And if you're lost, so are we.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Listen, it sucks that the four of us had to watch this, but
does.
it takes 4 people to kind of piecemeal this movie together.
And if you have listened to us talk about this movie for 1 hour and 12 minutes, and you still think that you should watch it, then fucking go ahead.
You know what? Yeah, if you want to.
At this point, you deserve it.
kinda-
Just go fucking watch it.
Yeah, no, like, I don't recommend this whatsoever.
No, fuck it. Just watch it.
I'm kind of with you on this. If at this point of somebody watching your guys' stuff, if they're like, you know what, they keep saying not to, nah, fuck it, go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah. Just
You know what? Don't touch the stove. It's hot. You know what? Fucking lick
Fuck
it.
it. Yeah. Damn.
touch it. Watching this
Fucking
movie
lick it.
is basically like Big Macking yourself on that stove.
Oh.
You don't
Just
get that
another-
reference.
Nope.
But you will.
No, he should, because you actually saw that episode
Oh,
of The
that's right.
Shield.
So
At MomoCon.
when we were at MomoCon last year,
That's true.
we were watching through the Shield.
Oh shit, no, I do
actually.
get that.
Yeah. and that happened to be the one episode that was on. That's the only episode of the Shield he's seen. Is that
Is
episode?
that like where he puts? God damn!
yeah.
That's a hell of an episode, my guy.
I'm just chilling watching. I'm just like, I feel like this is extreme. I think I said that because I was sitting in a chair poorly.
That just kind of sums up Vic. Like
He's like-
always.
He's like, who are the police in this? like,
Call the police. I am the police.
you are being rescued. Do not resist.
Again, I would like to point out this movie had a budget of $28 million.
Oh yeah.
I'm assuming that Paramount Pictures distributed that money to Bakshi Animation to get this done. And it had a box office of 14.1 million. So they lost money.
You know what I'm saying?
And
Oh,
that's-
it's funny. I'm looking here at the wiki here, and the first thing it says is, following the success of Who Framed Roger Rabbit and his own professional resurgence in television in the late 80s, Bakshi conceived it as a live-action animated horror film.
Oh, I mean, it was horrible.
well, it was horrific.
That's true. Yeah.
But that does not match any horror other than
no.
like the vibe.
There was the Edward Scissorhand baby that kind of
No, there's a lot of horrible things in it, but the plot question mark doesn't match horror.
Well, I'm looking through here, and it says that the film was intended as Bakshi's comeback, the interference from the producer led to an extensive rewrite from 3 other people did rewrites on the movie.
That goddamn studio interference.
Yeah, yep, every time.
I don't know if you could revive this movie at all. Like,
I
what
will
could
say,
you
though,
do?
It would make more sense to take a movie mostly done, undo all of it, and try to redo it and come up with something like this. I could see how that could happen.
That's fair.
Yeah. And then it says, as a result, the relationship between Bosky and the studio deteriorated, and the film had a highly tumultuous production.
Like maybe in the club scene where they have all those wolves, right? That are like clearly the same animation. Maybe that was going to be like one character, and they were like, "Nah, we want like a club scene." So he was like, okay, fuck. Well, all right." And then you just like copy pasta that fucking same wolf.
So I wanted did
Different color,
did Bakshi draw everything in this movie?
That would make a little more sense.
Yeah, it would.
Everything.
Everything.
Yeah, the film was a box office bomb.
You don't say.
No.
Yep.
You don't. Say.
You know what that means, though? People paid money to see this in theaters.
Yep.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Despite its poor reception, Cool World developed a cult following.
Of course,
I don't believe it.
No, see, here's the thing about I one of my first jobs was working in a video store,
Right.
And like,
It was the titties.
sure,
You got me.
but like, I will say this about the the cult classic people. They will find the most fucked up shit to make cult classics. There's just like this movie called like The Room 4.
Oh yeah, the 4
Or something like
No, The Room.
Is it The Room?
Yeah.
Yeah. So The Room. And it's like atrocious.
Yeah.
But there's a following for it.
So much so they made a movie about the movie.
Yeah, exactly. So
Room is
like
really bad.
I can see how this movie would do that.
I'm gonna go ahead and tell you now that I think we should go ahead and officially ban from the listings all 3 of the Human Centipede movies
Yeah, I'm not
and The
watching
Room.
those.
I'm down with that.
You know what? I'll go with that too. Yeah.
Yeah, we have a covenant.
Number of
Right.
passes or not, if you guys have been like, we're watching all 3 of these, I'm like, I'm not.
I'll be honest. The first Human Centipede movie is not that bad. Like, it is exactly what it says it is, right? But just like as a horror flick concept, it's not that bad. But the other ones are tremendously terrible.
I can say I hadn't seen any of them.
Same.
Because
I don't ever
the,
want to.
The director made the first one. It was almost like a Dune thing. Like he made the first one to get people to be like, "This is like awful," but then like it kind of developed a cult following. So when he made the second, he was like, "Well, fuck it then. I'm just gonna go completely off the rails with this." So the second one is about
It's like
a guy.
Sharknado, man.
So the first one's about a fucking scientist who like has this crazy ass thing he always wanted to do, and there's really not that much of the movie where you like see the fucking the centipede. But in the second one is about a guy that watches the first movie, and he's not a doctor, and then he just gets like duct tape and a staple gun and like 100 people, and tries to like make one. Yeah, and it's super awful. This right here, this face.
Yeah, if you're trying to name movies that would make me want to watch Cool World instead,
You're doing it.
If I have to pick between Cool World and the original Human Centipede movie, that's tough. I have to think about that.
I'm just going to look this way from now on.
yeah, that's fair. I think that there's a universe where this movie got made the way that Bakshi wanted to make it, and I'm mildly curious to see what that movie looks like.
I feel like even if it wasn't a better plot point movie, I do feel like it probably would have been hornier.
You know what? I can't argue with that.
And it might even be rated R. It might even be rated R.
This one's not rated R?
Dang, they scraped as close as they fucking could for 92.
Yeah.
What's it rated?
PG-13.
Well, I mean, there's no F-bombs in it.
That's true.
There's no actual nudity in it. You don't actually see anybody have sex. So
That's
That's
true.
fair, I guess.
Everything is just heavily implied and low cut on these animated.
Well, there is actually one drawing of an entirely naked woman near the end. but I guess they get away with that being art.
Artistic integrity.
Howard the Duck had duck titties.
It's true.
And it's PG.
PG. Fucking duck titties, man.
You know,
It's no less
I'm
funny.
still not gonna watch it. But I've been on the internet long enough and in weird enough places where you guys keep saying this, and I'm like, okay,
Yeah, that's true.
like all right, it's duck titties. I've seen worse.
yeah.
No. Okay, see, you say that, but it's all about framing and context, right? Like, for example, like I'm sure you've seen like animations of people getting beheaded. You've never seen anyone get beheaded in
don't
a
know that.
cathedral.
You don't know that.
Well, I think it's more like if you were like watching an episode of like Fresh Prince and then some duck titties popped up, you'd be like,
what
you
the
just
fuck?
you
So
just
I
you
will
don't
say-
expect to see duck titties there. You
Oh
know
yeah,
what I mean?
like when we popped on some fucking Howard Duck, I was not expecting to see a
First 2 minutes of the movie.
first 2 minutes of the movie a set of duck
is pretty
titties
early.
of a female duck in a
But
tub.
like you got to keep in mind, like, it's not they're not normal ducks. This is a humanoid duck we see who's in the shower, and then the camera just pans over, and she's like duck titties, and it's like the fuck.
It makes no sense. And,
So it's like you don't expect to see fucking Elmo's dick, you know. And it's just,
Fucking knee high part. I mean, yeah, it'd be like it was like the other week, my neighbor's truck exploded, and like I was I was very like just like what the fuck when this happened, but like I used to live in the hood. And back then, that shit wouldn't have fazed me. I would have been like, oh, the neighbor's fucking 71 Volvo is on fire. Oh, well.
yeah.
It happens.
Shit happens, yeah.
Yeah, he'll get another one. Sell some weed, you'll be okay.
All right. Yeah, I won't miss this movie, y'all. No. I sincerely hope that your next pick is better than this one. I need to set the bar higher than just better than this one.
The next movie needs to be good.
Yeah, there we go.
I got dibs on the next one then. Fuck it.
Okay. Caleb has the next one.
I've heard some of the musical, by the way. It's I like it.
Yeah, the musical's really good, but that's not what we're watching.
I know.
So.
Yeah, and it sounds
It's
like
too
we're
new.
doing Mean Girls.
But after we watch this one, everyone will probably want to go watch the musical. So
I like musicals anyway.
me too. Well, it depends. But yes.
Most musicals.
How do you feel about musicals?
I think we've talked about this once actually.
Yeah, that's one of those things where it's like I recognize that some of them are good, but they're not really for me.
Well, it's just fair.
Yeah.
Did you watch Greatest Showman?
No.
That was a good one, man.
And
I believe it.
It's
It's
important
just-
to note that there is a difference between like a musical and like a sing through.
Yeah, sing-throughs are
Yeah.
A
garbage.
sing through can fuck off.
Like, Rent is like one of the bane movies of my existence.
Oh,
Yeah.
you're lucky I don't remember that goddamn number. Otherwise, I'd hit you with it right now.
But like Greatest Showman is an incredible movie.
What was that one? The other one, Les Miserables.
Les Mis is
Les Mis.
okay.
I still haven't seen it actually.
Sweeney Todd's pretty good.
Johnny
All
Depp.
but one or two songs are solid.
Yeah.
It's like the closest I go to musicals is like old school Disney.
Little Bird.
Well, yeah. I mean, a lot of those would be considered musical. I mean, like I definitely think fucking. I mean, this isn't old school, but I definitely think fucking Moana is a musical. And,
100%.
Oh, yeah.
you know,
I mean, hell, Frozen.
right? Yeah. I mean, shit.
Solid.
Aladdin. Aladdin is. I would consider the live action
Have a daughter.
Aladdin to be a musical. Like, if the movie stops and people burst into song, that's a musical.
Yeah.
You know, especially if it happens more than one time.
Oh, yeah.
So, you know, because yeah, right, exactly. So, yeah, I mean, yeah, and Aladdin is the shit.
It is.
Yeah, for sure. Well, there were no musical numbers in Cool World. There wasn't much of anything in Cool World. There were no memorable moments in Cool World. There were no good characters in Cool World.
I'm already forgetting parts of it.
There wasn't any cool.
There wasn't any
World?
cool. Cool
There were two
world.
worlds in
There
Cool
were-
World.
Honestly, the coolest character, I still like. It's not even the coolest character. It was just the most disturbing in my head. Was the
Baby.
Would you stop with the baby club?
I'm sorry, he fucking freaked me out, man. And like
was
especially the reject Mojo Jojo. Like that's what you call it.
Yeah. I like the my favorite character in the whole movie is the monkey head that pukes out a penis dragon, and it's like that's the door, like that's the security system.
Remember when we traveled through a gorilla's asshole?
From his mouth through his asshole.
Yeah,
There was people inside him
People in
too.
his butthole. When you said it had no memorable moments, that was
That stuck with you a little bit.
yeah. He was just trying to remind you that we're all a donut.
One interesting thing, not a cool character, not my favorite character. One interesting character that the more I thought about it, the more like disturbing the character actually is, even though it's not looking at the start. Was the living rotary phone.
Oh yeah.
He had terrible anxiety, and I'm pretty sure was asking for death.
It was
we
the
first saw
original Meeseeks.
Yeah.
If you don't get that reference, fucking Google it.
It was that combined with the Butterbot. You know.
Yeah.
Like, what is my purpose?
What is my purpose? Oh my god.
But the reason I say it's more fucked up the more you think about it, like, imagine just sitting there and you just don't know
Full
when
of
your
anxiety.
whole body is
It's
about to
gonna-
start freaking the fuck out.
Jesus.
And then you have to go and find the person that's
Yeah.
receiving the call.
Well, technically, I don't know if you need that, but he ran all around that
I
fucking
mean,
place.
because like the sheriff doesn't seem like he was gonna stop. You know, the phone call.
No, and every like
was just
ring
chilling.
or whatever seemed progressively worse.
Right.
Like at one point he started like breaking apart.
Into like different geometric shapes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't watch this movie, homies.
No. If you still wanna at this point, fucking go watch it.
I
You
mean,
deserve it.
if you want to watch this movie, you do deserve it.
Yeah.
You know?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
I
that's
agree.
fair. Are there any
shouldn't.
closing thoughts or comments about Cool World, Oz? This is your idea.
My closing thoughts and comments are as follows. I got you back, bitches.
I still didn't do shit.
Was it worth it?
Very much so. It brought me a lot of joy.
Okay.
Struggling with the cap, damn.
I'm struggling. Then that's it. That's the end of the sentence.
I'm struggling.
Period.
So
Go ahead and go next.
This movie is an abomination that is devoid of any sort of creativity. I'd say it was a cash grab, but it didn't grab well.
You chose the wrong time to try and drink.
It was kind of like if I saw so by comparison, clearly this director saw Who Framed Roger Rabbit, Paramount, that's who distributed it, saw how much money that movie made. And a couple of years later, fucking Space Jam would actually come out and make a fuck ton of money. But it's like they saw Who Framed Roger Rabbit and they were like, yeah. They pulled a Rings of Power. Somebody at Paramount was like, go get me some of that fucking Roger Rabbit money. And Mr. Bakshi here was like, I got you, fam. Probably didn't say that in 92. I
got you, dog, probably.
He probably said something like,
I can certainly do that for you, sir.
I can take care of that. It'll be tight. Tight.
It'll be diggity dope. Dog.
No, it's no diggity.
Oh yeah. No,
Was that out by then?
No, that was like 98.
Wouldn't have been out yet. So I couldn't have said that shit.
Yeah.
And this is it worked out about like when Amazon did it recently and with Rings of Power. Except that probably
Season 2?
that probably made more money than this somehow. But
Inflation.
yeah, this movie is fucking garbage, and I probably would place it on the horror scale somewhere between Neverending Story 3 and like Dune 84. or somewhere between Neverending Story 3, more apt, is somewhere between Neverending Story 3 and the Star Wars Holiday Special, because it is worse than that.
I don't know about that.
There were at least moments in the Holiday Special where I could laugh at what was happening on the screen, not for the reasons that the movie intended, but because they were just fucfucking ridiculous.
That dude falling off.
Falling off the railing, the grandpa be a VR horn.
God damn it.
So, well, yes, there were more parts.
The B. Arthur musical number for no fucking reason.
Well, yes, there were more parts where I laughed in that one. There were also far more parts where I just sat there and massaged my head.
The Boba Fett animated part was cooler than this whole movie.
I mean, that I can agree with. I will say, though, like, this movie didn't make me physically uncomfortable to watch.
It made me pretty physically uncomfortable.
There was a moment.
I was fairly uncomfortable.
I'm physically uncomfortable now. I feel slightly ill.
There was a moment in the holiday special, though, when I think it hit me and Oz at the same time, like that feeling of, oh, this isn't going to get any better than this.
I remember that shit.
I want to say a little bit after that, it hit you and me that we can just take our glasses off and it looks the same.
It looks the same.
I remember when you guys were like, when you guys had that realization of like, all right, well, when are we going to like get into it? I was like, we are into it.
Like, when is something gonna happen?
This is what you signed up for, bitches.
But my final thoughts on this are as followed. I have a headache. That is all.
It's accurate. I would like to say that plenty of exciting things happened in both Howard the Duck and Captain America 1990.
Oh, yeah, hold on. You're shaking your head now, but you were perfectly fine with him defending fucking Holiday Special with this?
Right.
Oh, I was shaking my head then, too, just not as abruptly. He started this.
You gotta stop saying that. That's not true.
All right, can I real quick put down a thing?
Okay.
That none of the movies any of us pick are allowed to be bad.
That's extremely
that's
subjective.
very subjective.
I don't want to sit through a bunch of bad fucking movies because you circle jerks are all mad at each other.
I will agree that if no one else picks anything that is intentionally terrible, then I also will not.
So that's going to be all for this episode, guys.
I myself, this is the one time.
All right, what about you? Are you going to do me harm?
So until next time, my name.
Answer the question.
Fuck it. Roll them out. You can. You have the power.
That's true.
Autobots.
Would you do that to me, Ace?
Do it.
After our trip to Colombia, I don't know if I can do that.
I mean, suspicions confirmed. Got it.
It's just, it's just two dudes alone in a car on a nice long hour 15 car ride talking about Roadhead.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, we didn't talk about Roadhead the whole time. We talked about
Quite a few different
different things along the same lines.
Of course they weren't talking about
And
Roadhead
then-
the whole time. At least,
and then,
there was one point
where it
what was happening.
one person talking. Yeah.
There was one part where we figured out who each of us thought would betray us out of this group,
we didn't
out of
talk
this
about that.
extended group, not just this group.
Oh no.
So okay,
Whoa.
There were circumstances in line. Okay, it was like if we got teleported,
If you had agreed not to do a bad movie, I wasn't going to bring this up.
I was on the way.
No, you
No, we
weren't.
wanna hear more about this.
I definitely want to hear more about this now.
So there needs to be context in place here. So the context, fuck you, Dylan, was like if like there was like we were teleported to like an apocalyptic type place. Right? And
No, it was just an easy key style where we were just teleported to a fantasy world where we all get powers and shit. Who would be the inevitable person? Because it's in shows and plot. You know, there's always that one person in the group that turns on the group. Because I don't fucking know why, but they do. And I was like, who do you think it would be?
And I said, I hate to say it, I think Dylan would betray us.
That's not what you said.
That's
That's what I said, actually. What you said was a different person, and I believe they're sitting at this table.
Oh, he definitely said it was me.
That is crazy.
No, you definitely did. He definitely said it was me.
I love that none of you questioned the fact that I said it was myself.
No, I don't question it.
Honestly, I would have you would have been like number 2 for me.
He definitely said it was me. I knew that 4 minutes ago. When you prefaced
For the listeners, by the way, when I asked that to Oz looked to their left, and I'll let you guess who that was.
That's fucked up.
So Caleb, who do you think would out of the extended group?
We don't know for certain what I said, by the way.
I do. Out of the extended group, who do I,
We were talking about like basically everybody who was going to
who
dinner.
was at the dinner?
Yeah, basically, because that's most of the fucking group.
Yeah.
Granted, I didn't know like 2 of the. Yeah, I didn't know 2 of the people were going. Which one of them made absolute sense? It was your parent, but.
Definitely Brendan. Yeah. Not that he would maliciously choose to, but he would be manipulated into doing it.
You picked him over me.
Yeah. Yeah, I understand.
I'm a little offended.
Honestly.
Yeah, also
Billy needs to be on that list.
Well, he wasn't there.
He wasn't going to the dinner.
Well, maybe that's why he betrays us.
Because he wasn't going to the dinner.
Yeah.
Oh, fuck, is he Maleficent?
He's going to hear about
He wasn't
everybody
invited
drinking
to
all
the
this
fucking-
rum out of the cow's dick. And
Oh, you think Billy would do it, huh? You think Billy would?
No, I just think he needs to be considered.
I think he was looking a little too closely to his character. Like his character in our D&D group.
also, like, Kristen don't know most of y'all, so.
That's true.
Yeah.
He'd spare me.
What?
He'd spare me.
No, I said Kristen.
Oh,
She don't know most of y'all.
sorry. I thought you said a different name.
No.
Yeah. And for the record,
Granted, after that dinner, maybe not, because we had a lovely time down there.
Okay.
Because y'all were alone.
Yeah.
I had to wave down the
Yeah,
fucking
if I
road.
got roadhead on the way there, I'd been fine too.
he specifically stated he didn't want Roadhead.
Yeah, I never
And
would
at
have.
what
neither
point
was
in the
that-
conversation at the beginning?
That was never on the table.
At what point in the conversation, though, did he say, I don't want roadhead?
Pretty early on, actually.
You know why? Because you wouldn't talk about it alone in a car with someone under any other pretenses.
I think you just mad you never thought to have this interesting conversation with somebody.
No, I've fucking had this conversation, and I've had it lead to roadhead.
Not all roads lead to head. All right.
No, but all
Conversations about Roadhead lead to Roadhead most of the time. Come on, man.
They do not. We are proof that they do not.
Yeah.
I mean, that'd be like going to a movie theater like, on a date with a chick, and about 5 minutes into the movie, you realize you're not gonna like it. And you'd be like, you know what's crazy? How like some people get a hand job in a movie theater.
What's really funny about that?
That's the exact scenario.
It is not.
What's extra funny about that is I could see me doing that and still not wanting to try and get a hand job at a movie theater.
Yeah, I understand.
Why does that
That's
sound like
you,
a
though,
person?
Dylan. You're the exception.
But you would have to preface it with, by the way, I don't want this, because most of the time you wouldn't bring it up in that exact scenario.
So it wasn't prefaced per se. So it actually came up organically because he said that, and I was like, that does not feel like the time. I think it was like I was because he was talking about you getting cut off by the person. I was like, that is why you should not do this. It is not the time for doing this kind of thing. And I think you were like, well, I don't know, Dylan. I was like, nah.
Because I'm not 100% against it. That's just that I've never, and I don't know if I would want to ever experience Roadhead.
It'd be like the
Because
four of us.
I don't know if I can multitask like that. Was what I was getting at.
It'd be like the four of us are walking through the woods, and we all have hunting rifles, and we're there. Like, let's just say that we're deer hunting, and then we see a duck, and then you're like, you know what? Some people shoot ducks.
But that's
Immediately, we're all gonna be like,
that's not accurate because in this scenario, one of our dicks is the duck, and no dicks were
trying to
out.
get sucked.
And no dicks were out in this conversation at all.
And none of them were trying to get sucked either.
No.
You don't know his dick wasn't trying to get sucked.
I mean, my
fair,
dick is
but-
always trying to get sucked, but not by Dylan.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
Well, if it's always trying to get sucked, and you were the only mouth in range,
I mean,
and a mouth is a mouth, we know this scientifically. See, now we're at the point where not only if you want to watch this movie, fuck you, but like if you're still listening to it.
This is more interesting than the entire rest of it.
Okay, we've got about 10 minutes on Roadhead.
Yeah, I think we can wrap it up. Yeah.
Fucking hell. All right, that's fuck this movie. Fuck all of y'all also. We're done here. This is all for now. Homies, if you listen, I hopefully you found something better to do with your time. But thank you. We'll see you guys again soon. But until then, my name is Superhero Homie Q.
I'm Superhero Homie Dylan.
I'm superhero homie Caleb.
And I'm Oz.